Man that? Is here so Beanie Man get married? Oh! I will ask about this later on. Hi, morning.
Hi, good morning. My name is Junior. I'm your tour guide. Welcome to Craighton.
I'm the dryland tourist and I'm really in need of a cup of coffee right now.
Please have a seat. I'll be sure to start.
Sure, happily. Yes, nothing like a good cup of Blue Mountain coffee in the Blue Mountains. Yeah, this is the life. I can't wait to have a taste, man. Dying to have my coffee. But I'm not a coffee addict or anything like that. Just a little extra wake me up. And after we test it, we hear the story about it. Definitely. My coffee. Join me now. My cup
of boiling coffee in the morning.
I don't care for anything
else. The only thing for me is a bowl of boiling coffee in the morning.
No, that is our rendition. Since we can't sing, we recite it for you.
Okay.
So, Junior, tell me a little more about this coffee now. Blue Mountain coffee?
This Blue Mountain coffee, the king of all coffee. We do have High Mountain Supreme and also Jamaican Prime Wash coffee.
But the one that is famous that we export overseas?
It is Blue Mountain.
So, tell me a little bit about your coffee now. What's the coffee company?
Well, just like any other coffee producer in the Blue Mountains, we are basically faced with the terrain, which is one of the main ingredients. The actual location is what makes this coffee what it is. The species of coffee grown on the island of Jamaica is Arabica.
Arabica?
Arabica.
Not Jamaica?
No, it's Arabica. There are two main species, the Arabica and the Robusta.
Okay.
Yeah, so there's a third, but more dominant would be the Arabica. So majority of the world's coffee is produced from the Arabica species, which is a very sensitive plant, so the quality varies tremendously from regions to regions. So even here on the island of Jamaica, coffee grown outside of the Blue Mountain range will basically take on a different characteristic, as this coffee basically produces to a given environment. We also have a relatively recent coffee history in relation to the history of coffee. So as most countries which have started centuries ago, Jamaica only received coffee in 1728.
Okay.
So it's a relatively recent coffee history in relation to other countries.
That's almost, I mean, it's almost
300 years
ago.
But you should bear in mind that coffee was domesticated, can safely say, between 525 AD and 800 AD in Ethiopia. That long ago.
Wow. So what are some of the countries that you export coffee to?
Generally Japan. 85% of Jamaica's coffee goes to Japan.
And Japan is clearly a big coffee drinking country.
Not just a big coffee drinking country. If you basically look through the Japanese culture and what they consume, it's generally high quality, and generally high priced commodities, which are relatively pure. And Blue Mountain coffee is the purest coffee you can get anywhere in the world. About 7% will go to the US and 8% to other countries.
None to Europe?
A small portion goes to Europe, but we should know that Europeans drink a different style of coffee, which is a much harder coffee, and generally Blue Mountain coffee is not in sync to basically create that taste.
A nice coffee lesson. But I've seen Blue Mountain coffee in Europe.
Yes, you will see it for the more elite,
coffee.
The connoisseurs, but general Europeans tend to drink a darker roast, which you find, I would say, a harder coffee.
Harder coffee.
Stronger is where the coffee is most balanced, which would be a Blue Mountain coffee, and that's generally acquired at a medium roast.
Okay.
So the coffee is more harder.
So tell me something about Craighton Estate, though.
Craighton Estate, it's a summer house.
Craighton.
Yeah, Craighton Estate, it's a summer house. and it was said to have been built around 1765 by a Scottish Italian. And in 1805, the name was changed from Villa de Medici to Craighton Hall Estate.
Medici is a strong Italian
Exactly,
name.
it is, you know, and we're still doing a bit of research, you know, to get the whole thing together, you know. But it has been around since then, and has been residence to former governors of Jamaica, and second residence to archbishops and notables.
So when did it open to the public?
This all started in the 1990s, you know, and it was an initiative put forward by the company UCC, which is in fact the largest coffee importer, you know, from the island. I stay from Jamaica.
It's a Japanese company?
Yeah, it's a Japanese company, and they opened shop here on the island. They acquired this estate in 1981, but has been in Jamaica's coffee business since the 1950s. The founder, Mr. Taro Yoshima, was integral in forging that bond with Jamaica and Japan from the 50s up until now.
You're watching Dryland Touris at Craighton Estate up in the Blue Mountains.
Know what to me like